Hey everyone, sorry the first stream got cut off. I was having some streaming issues. That should be solved now. And so on the screen here, we're looking at NGC 7331 in the Deer Lake group cluster. And we can see the supernova already. It's extremely bright. But I'm using a small telescope, so I'm not getting the detail in the galaxy that I want. But even here, you can see that this is the core, and then this is the supernova. Supernova looks brighter than the core and it's more defined than the core. Well, the definition kind of makes sense, but the brightness is kind of mind blowing. And this galaxy is 40 million light years away, and if you look at the full field of view, this is what it looks like. So I'm zoomed in all the way, and if I actually go back to 100% and I scroll up a little bit, you can see this group of galaxies here. This is Stephan's quintet. Maybe when I stack it later, I'll get some more details, but right now my main focus is NGC 6331, and I'll probably zoom in to 150, and then we'll see how much data we can collect. There's a bunch of other galaxies here that we can see, so what I'll actually do is I will do a plate solve. Hey Rich. Hey Jim. Yeah, it's pretty cool. Rich, you should be able to see it too from where you are, the supernova. There we go. So if you look at the annotation here, we can see. Hey Astrobits. I know. Yeah. It's. I was surprised I could see it with the 71F, but tomorrow I have an event at night. But I'm hoping I can come back and switch out to the RC6. Maybe even my 6SE instead, which I'm more familiar with. But we can see like all these galaxies here. If I scroll up, we have there we go, Stephan's quintet. How can you determine if it was a supernova? So, well, it was detected by a bunch of other people who confirmed that it was a supernova. So if you look at images of this galaxy from before today, or before Friday actually, you'll see that you don't see this little bright dot here. It just appears out of nowhere. And that's what a nova is, right? It's a new star that just appears in the sky. So that's how systems like Atlas and the ZTF, the Zwicky Transit facility, looks for supernova in the sky. Just look for new stars popping up, and then you can see how far it is. Depending on how far it is, you can determine um, how big it is. You can look at the composition to see what kind of a supernova it is. So we know that this is the Type 1A supernova, which is caused by a white dwarf going supernova when it hits the critical mass of about 1.4 solar masses. Usually happens in a binary system, so it's all super cool. It's all very scientific, but I definitely did not discover this. I am just going based off other people's findings. Good question. Super Type 1A supernova tend to last a few weeks, so if you're imaging this weekend, you should be okay. The last Type 1A supernova we had was, I think, an M108, which is a surfboard galaxy, back in 2023, and that got bright within the first week or two, and then it started dimming down. So we have a few weeks, usually. Yeah, it's like even like perfectly, almost perfectly circular too. Yeah, I think the brightness is just the oversaturation of the pixels there, but yeah, it's kind of crazy how bright it is. And of course, if I go back to full field of view, we can't see it. Oh, gotta. I think it's a plane maybe. I can play around with the settings a little bit too in SharpCap to make it look a little bit better. So like if I make this a little bit darker, you can see more definition in the core and the supernova itself, which is kind of cool too. And of course, like Stefan's quintet just disappears if I do that. If you look at my Nina, yeah, so I'm taking 60-second exposures. I plan to take 3 hours worth. So I'm at 64 minutes already, and this is what it looks like. Try to zoom in. Oh yeah, I'm copying files over to my local. Whenever that happens, the network just slows down. There you go. This is 1 60-second exposure. And then SharpCap is having some issues. There we go. Yeah, and then later on I'll stack these and see if I can get some more detail out of the actual galaxies themselves, which I think I'll be able to. This is a pretty big galaxy. So if you look at Stellarium, so this is my field of view. The galaxy is pretty nice. It's not as bright as some of the other ones at Mag 9.4. And then we have Stefan's quintet here, which is a really nice group of galaxies. I'll also mention this is my first time imaging NGC 7331. I actually visually observed it last fall at my astronomy club's field with the 25-inch Dobsonian. Couldn't really see much beyond the core, but it was actually pretty cool to see this core and a bunch of these other tiny cores. They just look like fuzzier stars. They were super interesting, especially with the 25-inch. Did not see Stefan's quintet though. Probably should have pointed it there, but NGC 7331 was a big target of ours. And I'm hoping to come back to this maybe in a month or so when the supernova has dimmed, just to see, just to compare. And I'm getting good FWHM values here. If I look at my Nina, look at this PhD too. Dithering has, it's not the best guiding I've ever had, but it's not terrible. Alright, it's frozen. There we go. Wow. Auto background extraction. Did that even do anything? I have no idea. I don't think I've played with this before. Yeah, I don't remember playing with that before, but interesting. If I compare this to not background extraction, let's do this. I know Astrobits is going to is actually imaging this supernova now, and D River will, or D Diver will. Anyone else planning on trying to image this? This is, I think, my fourth supernova, if I recall correctly. At least third. You have M108, M101. Yeah, I guess this is my third one. Yeah, you're gonna have a really great comparison. I can't wait to see it. I need to clean my edge 8, but I have to take the corrector plate out because the thing is on the inside that I need to clean. I think I told you I'll do an after this is done, and then I'll compare the during and the after instead of the before and after. Yeah, yeah. The thing is the what I have, is the fungus that grew um, in the corrector plate a while ago. It's not. I mean, it hasn't grown anymore, but and it doesn't get affect. The image quality actually isn't affected at all. But I just want to clean it just to get rid of it. But tomorrow, if everything goes well, I might. I still have the RC6 from Ioptron that I have on loaner. I still need to test it out. Last time I took it out, I thought my camera had tilt, so I was gonna figure that out. But I don't think my sensor has tilt anymore. I think it could be the scope itself. So I do want to test it out, but I don't know if I want to test it out and also image a galaxy for the first time with it. So I might take out my 6SE instead, which I'm more comfortable with. We'll see. Although it'll be nice with my 6SE because I've taken images of the other two Supernova with the 6SE, so it'll be nice to use that as well. I'll think about it. Tomorrow is too far away to plan for. Oh yeah, I didn't think about that. Yeah, that would look pretty cool. If I can get it to work. Last time I couldn't even get it to work on a regular star. I've actually been waiting to try it out on the moon first. I thought maybe I'd have an easier time focusing. At least getting the hang of it, because it has like what, a 235 millimeter back focus requirement, which is insane. So I'll figure it out. Yeah, I wonder if a supernova would cause diffraction spikes. I know the core wouldn't, because otherwise I would have seen it a long time ago with the Andromeda and M33. So should be fun. It is always clear on a full moon, but I'm always busy or something. 235. Yeah, I think it's 235 millimeter. Hold on, I gotta look it up. 240. So I was wrong. I'll post the Cloudy Nice thread in the chat. Alright, let's super zoom. 800%. Start to see the pixels now, but yeah, like the supernova's so much brighter than the core itself. You know, we hear about supernova being brighter than galaxies, and here's proof. You know, we have this whole galaxy. It's pretty bright, but the supernova itself is definitely outshining the whole thing. Can't zoom in any more than that. Yeah, right. Yeah, it's such a tiny thing, but also, you know, a little bit more massive than our sun. Yeah, it's incredible. I did read that NGC 7331 is actually one of the candidates that scientists look at to determine galactic distances. So this will definitely help, because you know, Type 1A supernova all have the same brightness. So they can look at just how bright it got and then know exactly how far away it is, which is pretty cool. So I'm waiting for somebody much smarter than me to tell me exactly how far it is. Right now the estimate is 40 million light years, but maybe it'll be 42 million light years. Who knows? Yeah, the other thing about white dwarf supernova, Type 1A supernovas, is that they last a long time. The Type 2 supernovas, which are the massive neutron star producing, black hole producing supernova, they last much shorter, or they don't last as long. Oh yeah, that would be cool. Hopefully, all right. Wait, I know you're going away. So I don't know if you'll have time to, but maybe when you come back and it's still around, you might be able to image it in mono as well. But yeah, getting the before and after in RGB is going to be cool too. Oh, maybe if you can get some like H alpha or something, see if it releases anything. Probably will a little bit, but I don't know if it'll be detectable. Yeah, true, and probably in gamma rays too, and definitely neutrinos. I think Type 1A supernova also spit out a bunch of neutrinos. Yeah, I hope so too. That would be nice. I'm sure most of them are. I don't know about NASA, with the with all that's happening, but go ESA. I think Danny from our Discord does spectroscopy with a C star. I should ask him. Message sent. Hey, sorry. It'll be around for at least a couple more weeks, so you'll have time to get it. Hopefully, you'll have clear skies again. Where are you shooting from? Failed astronomer. Yep, that's exactly correct. It exploded 40 million years ago after the dinosaurs died, but before the mammals took over. And I forget which astrophysicist said this, but when we start looking at stuff, we try not to think about stuff that way because it like breaks the mind. We just think about happening. Yeah, the light just took 40 million years to get here. Then that it happened 40 million Earth years ago. Yeah, I don't know if that makes sense. I'm definitely not explaining it right. It's probably Neil deGrasse Tyson who said something like that. He's always ultra philosophical. And if we could teleport and we could go, anywhere in space and time, I would probably teleport maybe like 5 days in the opposite direction and then look at NGC 7331 and start imaging it and then see the star or see the supernova grow in real time. That would be pretty cool. And the funny thing is, like I was on our astronomy club's field on the 14th. Oops. I was on the 14th. No, yeah, it was like 2 days ago, 3 days ago, 4 days ago now, whenever that was, and we almost looked at NGC 7331. We just didn't know there was a supernova there. If we did, we definitely would have looked. We missed it. Yeah, those poor photons had no chance to love. I really need the show Cosmos to return. I always looked forward to that. Um, I watched the original series so many times, and then the one with Neil deGrasse Tyson a few times. Yeah, and it's been a long time since the season came out. I would highly recommend the original. Like Carl Sagan has a way to just talk, and yeah, it's wonderful. There's like no other way to describe it. I've seen it so many times. I'm waiting for my son to get a little bit older so we can watch together again. And Neil deGrasse Tyson did a really nice job. And you may already watch Veritasium. Like I feel like he's some of the episodes he's been making over the last couple of years is like Cosmos level, with the graphics and the explanations and the deep dives. One thing I like doing here is like making everything go dark, and like the core and the supernova is still visible, and the supernova is still brighter than the core. Amazing. I'm at 96 minutes of stacking. Pretty cool. I think I'm actually going to clear this and then go back and then restack this just in case. Sometimes it misses stacks. It's because SharpCap um, tries to stack an image before it gets copied over. So I actually have like a PowerShell script running that's copying files over from my mini PC outside and running it locally. It's much faster to restack. It also backs up my files at the same time. Yeah, me neither. I'll let you. Yeah, the green. I mean, the green makes sense, right? Because it's not post processed. Didn't do any SCNR on this. So I'm looking forward to processing this. Oh yeah, yeah. Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, it is more green. Zooming in at 300% makes it look like my stars are blurry, but I think I'm in focus. Two. No, my HFR is pretty good. It's at 2, which is pretty good for this. So I am in focus. I'm in as focused as I can be. Oh yeah, I had that fear with my Astroberry. When I first started my Astroberry, I used to save everything on the SD card, if you can believe it or not. And then I'd come home, turn it on, and then remote in, and then or SSH in, and get the files out. I didn't start using a thumb drive until like 6 months in, and yeah, it made things so much easier. But also, I have had it fail before. It's never good. I've actually had my drive on my mini PC delete files from me. It had about 3 hours of the Iris Nebula get randomly deleted. I was able to recover a third of it using some recovery software, but data need to constantly be backing up. Yeah, it was this from last summer. I was so mad. I was at my astronomy club's field. I was showing a fellow club member my setup and all of the files. I don't know if I clicked something, but it just got deleted. Nothing in the recycle bin, but I found a bunch of them with the recovery software, but it was so annoying. I actually never ended up processing any of those images anyway. Ugh, I have such a backlog. Yeah, me too. It's when I was about to switch from my DSLR to an Astrocam back in 2021. I yeah, there's so many images that I never processed, and I told myself I'll go back and process them, but now it just feels like DSLR thermal noise, barely any H alpha. Yep. Yep, that's a good way of putting it. I can definitely do better now. It's like why we don't send more spacecrafts out into deep space because just wait a couple of years. We'll have a better rocket. We'll have better images and better, more expensive telescopes. Alrighty, I'm coming up to almost an hour of the live stream here, looking at Supernova SN2025rbs. I'll probably be closing up shop in about 7 minutes. So if anyone else has any questions or want to see something else from my setup, from Nina, from Stellarium, whatever, let me know. I'm not gonna switch to it yet. Hey Sundog, good seeing you. It's been a while. I know it's been a while since I've done a live stream. I was gonna end it in a couple of minutes, but I'm actually gonna go here and then see what M31 will look like from... I don't have a rotator on my setup, but I just want to see what it would look like. Oh yeah, it's a little bit not ideal. Not ideal framing. I could go outside and rotate the thing, but I don't think I'm going to. What I think I might do is look at M33 and then wait a couple hours and switch to that later. That should fit everything in the field of view. Yeah, M33 will look pretty nice in here. Probably should have used the SV240 filter on this, but oh well. I might switch to that after this. Oh cool, a second gen Edu Snap. Oh nice, you bought a C-Star S30, that's awesome. And a Skywatcher EQ mount. Wow, you're upgrading your gear at a rapid rate. That's awesome. I'm waiting for the S30 Pro to come out, and then I think I'll get that. My S30, I dropped it during one of my outreach events, so I don't have one right now, but I'm hoping the S30 Pro comes out soon. I'm gonna try and open this up and see if I can fix it myself. The arm is loose. Might need a new like worm gear or something. Yeah, the C-Star is great. Yeah, I think the Pro was supposed to come out like this month, but they had some production issues, so it's been delayed a few months. So I'm not sure when it's coming out exactly, but I'm hoping it's before, maybe in the fall, because that's when I do a lot of my outreach when the planets are out. I'd like to be able to use it for that. Astro Edit. It sounds familiar, but I don't think I've ever used it. Is it astroedit.co.uk? I have seen this, but Astroedit. Yeah, did they Yeah, I have seen this. I've not used it though. If you use it, let me know how you like it. I think I had it on my list to test out and maybe do a video on it later on. Oh yeah, it's in beta test. That's probably why I didn't sign up for this. Yeah, thanks for the reminder. I'm gonna check it out again later when it's available. Nice, yeah. EQ mode on the S30 is pretty nice. unfortunately, the S30 broke like a week before EQ mode came out, so I was able to briefly test it before the arm basically just gave out. But from what I tested, it was pretty nice. Whoa, 70 millimeter. That's great. Do you like the first gen EduSnap? $70 will be amazing. Okay. Damn, that sucks. But hopefully the second gen is better, and the third gen is even better than that. So cool to see that they're thinking about it. Uh, Damn. Sounds like a little bit of a scandal, huh? Hmm. I think the Dwarf 3 has the processor next, or at least near the sensor. That's how it kind of keeps dew off the glass in the sensor, from what I know. So maybe that's what that other engineer was trying to do, but it was poorly designed. So noise, yeah, thermal noise was probably not good. Probably needed a buffer of some kind. I don't know. I'm not that kind of an engineer, but interesting. Thanks for sharing that. And I'm going to coming up on like an hour and 10 minutes of the live stream. But I think when I hit 1 hour and 15 minutes is when I'll end the live stream. It'll be about 12:50 a.m. for me, and I'm going to point my scope to do this for 1 more hour, and then I'm actually gonna just start this triangle sequencer. And I'm just gonna do 60 seconds of this. Let's see. Frozen again. Seconds of lights. Yep, I think this will be good. And do it every 5 frames every 5 minutes. And force calibration. Okay, I think I'm in good shape here. I do love automation. Yeah, and if anyone else has any questions, you have 6 minutes to ask me. I hope to do more live streams as the summer goes and in the fall. It's been a rough few months for live streams for Astro in general, just because it's been so cloudy and or smoky or something. Um, so this is actually my first opportunity in months to do a live stream, and I like doing this. The S30 is a lot of fun. Yeah, I agree. Yeah, me too. I'm glad I was able to do it at a time that works for you. I know there are a few others who have asked for live streams over the past few months, but I just haven't been able to for one reason or another. But hopefully more will come soon. I want to do a H Alpha Solar one during the day at some point. It's been a long time since I've done one of those. Ah, sorry. Yeah, clouds ruin everything. I might get some clear skies tomorrow night, but it's the forecast is iffy, so I don't know if I should leave my stuff outside. I'm always nervous about leaving my stuff outside because I don't have a private yard. So I have neighbors and their children. That always makes me nervous. But looking at the forecast, there shouldn't be any rain, so I might just bring my telescope inside, leave my mount outside. Yeah, so that's what I might do. Oh, that's awesome. I love the Ring Nebula. It's one of the first things that I ever tried to image. Not the first thing I ever successfully imaged, but the Ring Nebula is awesome. Hopefully you'll get it soon. Oh no, you did get it. Sorry, I misread that. You did get it. Clouds all around, but the nebula was in the middle. That's awesome. Was that with the S30? Yeah, M27 is also great. M27 has actually been a great outreach target for me. You know, having it on a iPad screen. And my S30, like I could get it during in the middle of the city, and people's minds are always blown that they can see this bright nebula from the middle of the city with just a few pictures. Alright guys, 60-second warning and then I'll be cutting off the live stream so that I can go do other stuff. I appreciate everyone who joined and everyone who saw this supernova from 40 million light years away. It's mind-blowing that we can see something from that far away. And this is a single star exploding. Just a little bit more massive than our sun, about 1.4 solar masses. It just sucked up enough mass from its neighbor to explode into a Type 1a supernova, and now we can use that data to see just how far it is, because Type 1a supernova is considered a standard candle. It has the same brightness everywhere, so you know exactly how far something is just by looking at how bright or dim it is. Super interesting. And we have Stephen's quintet here. I'm going to process this. Later I have 1 more hour of images to take, give or take. And once that's done, I'm going to process these hopefully tomorrow, probably Wednesday, but we'll see. Tomorrow I'm hoping to switch out my RC6 and take a closer picture of this galaxy. That's my goal. Thanks, Sundog. And with that said, thanks to everyone who joined. I really appreciate it. If you haven't joined our Discord, check the description for a link. And until next time, clear skies, everyone.